Good afternoon. My name is Greg Krasovsky, and today, on Friday, November 10th, I want to talk to you about the international family services that my law offices offer to clients around the world. I have two offices, one in Washington, D.C., another one in Moscow, Russia. International family services is just that. It's family law with an international aspect. In other words, if you're planning or you're already in an international relationship, if you're married to a citizen of another country or a permanent resident of another country, or if you have children who have multiple citizenships, permanent residencies in the different countries, we can help you. We can help you with such issues as, for instance, if you've met someone and you're considering getting married, prenuptial agreements, as they're called, premarital agreements. We can also help you with other areas. If you need to have your fiancé receive a visa to the country where you're in. So, for instance, if you're an American citizen and you've been engaged to a Russian citizen or a citizen of any other country, including countries of the former Soviet Union, and you have issues about questions about U.S. immigration laws regarding fiancé visas, or just getting a visa in general. For instance, let's say you're an American citizen who's residing in Russia, or in Ukraine, or in Germany, and you've met a local woman that you'd like to marry, but you're not planning to relocate to the U.S., but you would like to take your fiancé to visit your family, friends, or just simply go on vacation with you to your home country. Now you're going to be applying for a visitor visa, tourist visa. If you have questions about that, or you want to make sure that you can increase the chances of your fiancé or your girlfriend getting a visa, or make sure you don't make typical mistakes on the visa forms, then feel free to give us a call. We'll guide you along, we'll help you out. Other issues come up. For instance, once you're already married, what if you would like to execute a postnuptial agreement? For instance, if you're planning to start a business or some other venture, you want to make sure that you shield your spouse from any potential legal liability, then it may make sense to do that. Or you simply want to have an agreement between the two of you that apportions not just liability, but also property rights. Maybe some things the two of you don't want to be a part of your joint marital estate. If, unfortunately, you're considering getting a divorce, or you're in the process of getting a divorce, or you're separated, then you should give us a call as well. We can guide you along, because now you may have to deal with divorcing someone, having a court apportion marital property in multiple jurisdictions. If you have marital property in different jurisdictions than the country where you and your spouse reside. If you have children, you're also going to have issues of child support, parental rights, who's going to have physical or legal custody of the children, with whom will the children reside, where will they go to school. These are typical standard questions that people have and issues that need to be resolved. Obviously, our goal is to try to help you resolve them without having to go to court. So if you can get those issues resolved through our help, direct negotiations with your spouse or your loved one, or the other parent of your children, then we're all for that. If necessary, mediation, formal mediation can be arranged. And if that doesn't work, then litigation should be the last resort, but sometimes it's necessary, especially if you have a bitter separation, bitter divorce. And unfortunately, as we've seen in the news, these things happen. And it's not just in the news. All of us have heard these stories from people that we know and have seen these events unfold among colleagues, friends, neighbors, and loved ones. So getting back to children, international family law services also include such areas as I mentioned before, parental rights. People can lose their parental rights. Sometimes that's initiated by one of the parents. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's initiated by a government agency. following some sort of an episode where the government does not believe that you're a fit parent, and they would like to curtail or take away your parental rights. And obviously that's the worst nightmare for any parent who loves their child, to have their child forcefully taken away by the state. So if there's any danger of that happening, give us a call. We'll try to help you. We'll defend your rights as much as we can. But first and foremost, we're going to be working and acting in the best interest of the child, because that's what it's all about. And if it is in the best interest of the child to live with one parent or not to live with parents, if the child is, for instance, in an abusive household or a household where the parents do not have the financial means to support the child, or you have alcohol abuse, substance abuse, drug abuse, then the child may be better off going somewhere else, preferably with relatives. If there aren't any suitable relatives willing to take in the child, then unfortunately you have to resort to having a child being placed in a foster family, in a group home for children in those countries and those jurisdictions that have it. Regarding children, issues also come up with child's right to education and interaction with educational institutions and facilities. Sometimes schools and other educational institutions do not properly dispense with discipline. Sometimes the disciplinary measures that they apply to your child can be unfair, inappropriate, over the top. So if your child has run into that, give us a call as well. And this is an area that's also overlaps with our educational law services. As I mentioned, we have such issues as child support, custody. We also have adoption. A number of parents, including single parents, are considering adopting children, sometimes from other countries. So we can help you with that to make sure that you comply with all applicable local laws in your adoption and have problems down the road. If you've already adopted a child and you've been successful in getting him to your home jurisdiction, if you haven't used us for that, but you start having problems with the child, which we've seen from both our practice and in the news. Unfortunately, some of the adopted children have come from abusive households or suffered developmental and brain damage because of their parents' substance abuse, including during pregnancy. Plus, there's also a cultural barrier if the child does not speak your language, because the adopted child is also getting used to it. So if you start having severe disciplinary problems with the child, either within your home or at the school or preschool facility that they're attending, please call us, because we've seen incidents where parents don't do anything until the very end, where they've exhausted all their tolerance toward the child. And sometimes we've even had cases of parents pretty much abandoning the child or trying to reverse the adoption and ship the child back on their own to the home country where they adopted. And we don't advise that at all. So you definitely need the services of an attorney to help you with that. Aside from children, when it comes to international family law, as I mentioned to you, marital property is a big issue, because if you're getting divorced or you're considering entering into a marriage and you already have your own business, or you have substantial assets, business assets, personal assets, real estate, securities, pension plans, other types of assets, then you have to consult with a lawyer regarding what will happen with all that property once you're married. Some of it will continue to be treated as your property. Some of it may become a part of the marital estate in the event of a divorce, if it's not already an issue, a point of contention in the divorce proceeding. So we can give you legal advice on that as well. Anyway, there are lots of things we can do for clients in international family law. So if you're someone who lives in the United States or in Russia that has an international family law situation, because of foreign citizenship, foreign residency, or foreign work. People do get posted overseas, and then you may also need legal advice on what to do to make sure you can protect your rights as a parent, and your children's rights as well, if they have to attend school in a foreign jurisdiction. We can help you in all those areas. Thank you. Hopefully this has been informative to you, and we look forward to hearing from you.